Hello, welcome to this 30-minute energizing Vinyasa flow practice. So just starting in a comfortable seated position, we'll just place the backs of the hands on the knees and pressing together the thumb and the first finger and closing down the eyes when you're ready. And just taking this moment just to settle into your body and your mind today. Gently noticing your breath, noticing any sounds around you that you can hear in the distance, or maybe nearby. Just being a witness without judgment, enjoying these moments of stillness and rest. And just finding a big inhale and release with the exhale. Inhale, filling up the lungs. And exhale, release. One more like this. Inhale. And exhale. And taking this last moment just to set an intention for your practice today. A word, a thought, or a feeling that you'd like to come back to. And when you're ready, we'll find a different mudra this time, a different hand position. So just crossing the thumbs, creating like a butterfly with the hands, and placing this over your heart space. Maybe even tucking the chin down. And just sealing in that intention that you'd like to come back to. And when you're ready, reaching the hands up above the head, releasing the fingers and allow the arms to fall down by the sides. And taking your left arm down, allowing the right arm to come overhead for a side stretch. Taking an inhale to come up halfway and exhale, releasing all the way back down. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, release. One more time like this. Inhale. And exhale, side stretch, reaching all the way around, drawing a big circle with the hands, coming to the side stretch on the other side. Allowing the shoulders to remain down the back. And taking an inhale, lifting that arm halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, up. Exhale, stretch. One last time, inhale. And exhale, releasing back down to that side stretch. And releasing down, drawing a big circle with the arms, coming all the way to find that side stretch on the other side. Releasing all the way back to center. Begin to walk the fingertips out in front of you. Maybe you stay high on the fingertips today. Maybe you drop the elbows, maybe even the forehead down towards the mat in front of you. Enjoy the stretch along the hamstrings, just as you gently fold over. And gently walking the fingertips back in towards you. We'll take the right hand onto the left knee, walking the left fingertips behind, gazing behind with you for an easy twist. Finding length in your spine on your inhale, and a gentle rotation in the spine as you exhale. And gently releasing this twist back to the center and just switching the cross of the legs. taking that gentle fold over, walking the fingertips out in front of you, and that optional to come down to the elbows or the forehead, falling down towards the mat. And when you're ready, just walking the fingertips back in towards you. We'll take the left hand onto the right knee, right fingertips behind for that gentle, easy twist. Taking one more breath here. And exhale to release back towards the center. We'll uncross the legs and just make your way to a tabletop position. And then taking the knees wide, bringing the big toes to touch, we'll sink the hips back for a wide leg child's pose. Maybe even closing down the eyes here, allowing the forehead to rest on the mat. And on your next inhale, we'll take the gaze towards the hands, bringing the left hand underneath the right, threading it under, dropping the left cheek down, and turning the left palm to face up. Enjoying this shoulder stretch here. And inhale, coming back to center, we'll switch sides. So just taking the right hand, threading it underneath the left arm, dropping the right cheek down, allowing the left shoulder to sink down towards the mat to increase the stretch. And when you're ready, just releasing back towards the center, taking one last moment in child's pose before we shift the weight forwards, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, bringing the knees back to parallel, and we'll just tuck the toes and drop the belly, lifting the gaze high, and exhale, untucking the toes, rounding through the spine, dropping the chin towards the chest. Inhale, tucking the toes, arching the spine, lifting the gaze for a cow pose. And exhale to round through the spine, tucking the chin towards the chest. And when you're ready, finding a neutral spine, we'll extend the left leg away, And taking an exhale to draw the left foot to the outside of the left hand, sinking the hips down for a lizard stretch. Taking the option to come down to the elbows, or maybe to some blocks. Or just staying up high in the hands, we're just warming into the hips here. And coming back up to the hands, we'll gently shift the weight backwards to extend the left leg behind you, finding length before releasing it down to the mat to meet in tabletop. Taking an inhale, we extend the right leg away, finding one long line, drawing the right foot to the outside of the right hand with your exhale, finding your lizard on the other side. And taking your variation with the elbows down or up on the hands. And just breathing into this hip stretch. Just thinking of creating space with each exhale. And gently coming back to the hands if you're on the elbows, extending the right leg away to find length before releasing it down to the mat, meeting in tabletop. We'll shift the weight forwards to find our modified plank and bending the elbows in towards the chest to lower the body all the way down to lying. And just taking the elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Coming to find our Sphinx pose, so just lifting in the heart, keeping the gaze directly out ahead of you, finding this gentle back bend. And when you're ready, we'll kick the right foot in towards you, reaching behind with the right arm, taking the hand around the inside of the foot, and just really kicking the foot in towards the hand. So we're just aiming for a stretch across the chest and all in the shoulder. This is more about stretching in the shoulder and chest than the quads. And gently release, we'll switch sides, taking in the left foot, reaching behind with the left arm for the inside of the foot and just kicking the foot into the hand. And gently releasing back down. We'll take the hands next to the chest and reaching the right arm away, shoulder height, palm facing down, kicking up with the left toes, taking the right cheek down and pressing into the left hand to guide the left foot over. Maybe the back toe just taps behind you, maybe the whole sole of the foot comes down to the mat. It's just feeling a stretch across the chest and shoulder and also a twist in the spine. And gently releasing all the way back and switching sides, taking the right hand in towards you, reaching away with the left arm at shoulder height, palm facing down, picking up the right toes, left cheek comes down to the mat and just stepping behind with the right leg. And gently releasing all the way back to center. And we'll just press into the hands to lift the body up to pass through tabletop, and tucking the toes, lifting the hips high, downward facing dog. And just pedaling out the legs here, bending one knee then the other, just really easing into this down dog. And just finding stillness, allowing the heels to drop down to the mat. We'll take an inhale, coming up high on the toes. Exhale, generous bend into the knees, releasing the belly to the thighs. Inhale, lengthening the legs, and exhale, dropping the heels down to the mat. Inhale, high on the toes. Exhale, pressing the belly to the thighs. Inhale, find length, and exhale, drop back down. Inhale, high on the toes. Exhale, generous bend in the knees. Inhale, lengthening the legs, and exhale, release. Inhale, coming up high on the toes. One last time, pressing the belly to the thighs. Finding length in the legs and just releasing the heels back down to your downward facing dog. And we'll just begin to step all the way to the top of the mat, just tiny little steps all the way forwards. Just taking hold of opposite elbows, hanging over the legs for our ragdoll. Maybe you keep a soft bend in the knees. Maybe you even rock from side to side. And gently releasing the elbows, we'll interlace the hands behind the back, allowing the arms to fall over the head for a shoulder stretch. Keep a generous bend in the knees to rest the belly on the thighs, allowing the crown of the head to still drop down towards the mat. And just lengthening the legs away to release the hands all the way down to the mat. Planting the hands down, we step back to find our downward facing dog. We'll draw the left knee in towards the chest, planting the foot between the hands, rotating on the back foot, planting it at 45, and taking an inhale to reach the arms up high for warrior one. We'll interlace the fingers today, pointing the first finger away, and keeping the shoulders squaring round towards the front if you can. Taking an inhale and an exhale to release the arms open to warrior two, maybe even widening your stance slightly. Allowing the arms to be at shoulder height, reaching to either side of your space, keeping the bend in that front leg, aiming for the knee to be stacking over the ankle and in line with the second toe. We'll gently release the front leg to straighten, just flipping the front palm and tipping the body backwards for a reversed triangle, taking the back hand to the thigh or towards the calf, just not on the knee. And gently releasing forwards, continuing the flow, we reach forwards and down to our Trikonasana, one long line in the arms. And taking the top hand, the back of the hand onto the lower back, or placing it all the way around the thigh for a complete bind. If you've got any stiffness in the neck, just keeping the gaze down today, or lifting the gaze up high if you can, opening out that top shoulder. Releasing the top hand all the way back up long to pull you all the way to standing. We'll take the hands to the hips and just heel toe the back foot in towards you. Turning the toes more round to the front. We'll pull the left hip back, right hip forwards, releasing the hands to prayer at heart center, and just tipping down halfway, finding one long line in the spine. And then when you're ready, releasing the fingertips down to 2 blocks or to the mat. Feel free to keep a bend in that front leg and just think of drawing the forehead towards the shin. Coming into our pyramid pose. We'll take a soft bend into that front leg and just stepping back with the right. Planting the right hand into the mat, lifting the left arm up high for a lunge twist. And releasing the left hand down to the mat, we step back to find our plank. Taking a vinyasa, we shift the weight 2 inches forward, bending in the elbows for chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Just noticing if one side of the body is feeling different to the other before we even out. Inhale, drawing the right knee in towards the chest this time, planting the foot between the hands. Rotating that back foot, we rise to warrior one. Stacking the right knee over the ankle, interlacing the fingers, pointing the first finger away, keeping the shoulders down, biceps towards the ears. Finding length with the inhale. And releasing the arms open as you exhale, maybe widening that stance, warrior two. Gazing out towards the middle finger of the front hand, arms at shoulder height, maintaining the bend in that front knee. Begin to straighten the front leg, reversing the front palm, we tip the body backwards. Taking the back hand to the thigh or towards the calf, keeping the gaze up if you can. Releasing all the way back to the center, reaching forwards and down, we find our Trikonasana, our triangle pose. And releasing the top back of the hands to the lower back, or wrapping all the way around the thigh for a full bind. Taking the gaze up as an option and opening the top shoulder out towards the sky. And releasing the left arm up long, lifting the body all the way back up to center, taking the hands to the hips, heel toeing that back foot in towards you, and just squaring the hips round to the front, drawing the right hip back, left hip forwards. We release the hands to prayer and just folding halfway, finding that long line from the top of the head all the way to the hips. And when you're ready, releasing the fingertips down towards the mat or 2 blocks, drawing the forehead to the shin. Taking that optional bend of that front leg as well. just taking a bend into that front knee. Stepping back with the left foot, planting the left hand into the mat, releasing the right arm up long, taking the gaze up with you for our lunge twist. And releasing the right hand back down to the mat, stepping back to fine plank, we'll take our Vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog whenever you're ready. And we'll release the knees to the edges of the mat, bringing the big toes to touch and sinking the hips down for a wide leg child's pose. Option today is to take hands in prayer at the base of the head, or just keeping the arms out long, just finding somewhere you'd like to rest for a moment. And when you're ready, releasing the arms out in front of you and just coming to find a comfortable seated position. So maybe crossing at the legs and sitting back, or just taking legs over to one side. We'll bring the soles of the feet together, opening out the legs to create a diamond shape for our butterfly pose, and gently folding over. Just coming to somewhere you'd like to hold for a few breaths. Maybe the elbows rest on the calves. Maybe the arms fall in front of the legs today. And gently finding length in the spine to peel the body all the way back up. And we'll take the right leg under, stacking the left foot on top of the right knee. You may want to place some support underneath the left knee in between the foot and the leg. It's a deep hip stretch, so if it's too intense, just stay up sitting for now. Or if you'd like to increase the stretch, just gently folding over, just as much as you'd like to. You may just want to lean forwards an inch today. And releasing all the way back up. And we'll just switch the cross of the legs, taking the left leg under, taking the right leg on top, so the right foot side of the ankle is on top of the knee. And feel free to place any support, a blanket or a cushion, underneath the right knee. And that optional fold is there for you if you want to increase the stretch in the hips. This is a deep stretch, so just coming to wherever you'd like to hold for a couple of breaths. And releasing all the way back up to center. And just placing the feet at the top of the mat, taking the hands behind the thighs, just above the knees. And guiding the body all the way down to lying. We'll draw the knees in towards the chest, wrapping the arms around to give them a big squeeze. And releasing the left sole of the foot down to the mat, we'll place the right side of the ankle on top of the left thigh, creating a window with the leg. Staying here are option to draw the left knee in towards the chest, and maybe even interlacing the hands behind the thigh or even around the shin. If you're lifting in the chest and the body, just release the hands entirely and just focus on the legs. And when you're ready, just releasing the left sole of the foot down to the mat if it's lifted, and using the right side of the ankle to guide the left knee over for a twist, releasing the arms into a T shape, taking the gaze towards the left hand. Just feel the weight of that right foot on the knee, increasing the stretch. And if it's too much, just release the foot off of the knee, just allowing it to place onto the mat. And coming all the way back up to center, we'll just switch sides, placing the right sole of the foot on the mat, taking the left side of the ankle on top of the right thigh, and taking that variation of your reclined pigeon that you'd like to. So maybe releasing the hands and just focusing on the legs today, maybe interlacing the fingers around the back of the thigh or the shin. Just thinking of drawing the right knee in towards you, left knee away from you. And gently releasing the right sole of the foot down to the mat, and using the left side of the ankle to guide the right knee over to a twist, arms opening out to a T shape, gazing towards the right hand. Just enjoy this spinal twist and a release. And coming all the way back up to center, releasing the left foot down. We'll take the soles of the feet together, opening the legs for our Super Baddha Konasana, our reclined butterfly, and placing the left hand on the heart, the right hand on the lower belly. Just enjoying a few rounds of breath here. Releasing the legs whenever you need to. So we'll take an inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding the breath at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding the breath at the top, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding the breath out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking a big inhale and releasing with the exhale to lengthen the legs away, allowing the ankles to roll out, the arms down beside you, the palms facing up. Coming into our savasana, our time for rest, where there's nothing to do. Allowing your breath to be your guide back to presence. And I'll let you know when it's time to come back. And just begin to notice your breath coming back into your physical body. Noticing the sensation of each inhale and each exhale. And slowly, when you're ready, just rolling onto one side, creating a pillow with the bicep for the head. Just moving through this fetus position, and with the eyes closed, taking your time, just coming up to a seated position. We'll find that Garuda Mudra, the butterfly-like hands over the heart space that we did at the beginning. Just allowing the chin to tuck slightly down, just bowing down to yourself. We'll just take this moment for gratitude. Thank your body and your mind for all that it does for you, to be able to carry you through that practice. And thank yourself for showing up for your yoga practice today and for showing up in the world. And I thank you for trusting me with your practice. The light in me sees, loves, and honours the light in you. Namaste.